I've got the lovely Bramley with me today, and I know we were talking a lot about obviously doing a bit of free feeding, enrichment, trying to create a little bit of space. So now I'm going to go back into making sure that we've got a little bit of training set aside there. So I've got some yummy treats ready, and we're just going to go through those controlled exercises to start off with. Now it's all to do with luring, and it's a little bit to do with confidence. If the dog is a little bit unwilling to go forward, drop the food, because that will get the momentum going, and then you can lure them around. Lovely. So that's the centre finish, and then what we want to do is pop Bramley back in the sit, and then we're going to send him round into the finish itself. So treat on the ends of the nose as you move those feet together, we're going to pop him into a lovely sit, and move him back round again. Going to send him round to the heel finish, that's all the way around and back. And I quite like this one because it's a good one to swap out. Now you're pretty much wondering why we do the control exercises, but I'm going to show you. Sit up, woo! Once you make it a bit more of a game, you can actually throw it into your arsenal for being able to do recall. Sit up, woo! Because what we're going to do is we're going to make it a bit more fun. We're just going to get his attention again. Sit up, woo! Yay! And it is useful because you're creating. What I find useful in the walks is actually, the walks is about sniffing and having a look around and all those kind of things, but I actually like throwing a bit of training in there as well. So obviously my dog's by the side. The other one that I quite like doing is getting them used to changing size, because that works really well when you've got to swap sizes, someone's coming towards you, you're not too sure what the dog's like. So actually getting that one in nice and early really does make a difference. So swapping size, yay! And then swapping sides. Woo! Good boy, well done. And now he's getting used to following that food. This is where we can do all the cool little movements and be able to get him to lure a bit better, which is really good news. I'm just going to pop him back into that sit. I'm going to do a little bit of weaves through those legs. Woo! Yeah, let's go! Let's party! Woo! Let's party! Woo! Woo! Now this all helps with the focus when you're out and about. So you may think, what's the point of doing all these exercises? But as you can see, he's really focused on me. Woo! And that's exactly what we want. And that's simply just because we've been doing these controlled exercises. It's good fun and it's super rewarding. And we've got the ear malfunction. So I'm just going to pop him into the sit. Now the static positions are always a little bit more difficult. You really want to start those by actually keeping the food on the ends of the nose, keeping a bit of movement round, and then releasing that food. Oh, well done you. And then I'm just going to reinforce the verbal sit. So you'll find a lot with my training is I don't tend to put the verbal commands in later because they don't speak English. So what I really want to do is proof it by actually popping the visual cues in before I actually do the verbal, because it does pay dividends later. I'm going to pop him into that down, yeah, and make sure I put that food in between his paws, and then carry on feeding him in the down. And that's where you would start doing that succession and counting down and reinforcing by doing 1, 2, 3, then releasing food, 1, 2, 3, 4, releasing food, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, releasing food. So we're going to see how we go with that now. Good boy, get down. Get down. Now obviously he went forward there, but actually that was my fault. Rookie error, because actually the food just dropped. Yay! Good boy, well done. And then you can start stepping back a little bit, going towards, down, reinforcing that down while you're doing it. And as I say, that will really make a difference. So it's something for you to definitely practice at home. Going to get his attention again. And I just want him focusing more on my leg, because that is going to help massively on the walks. Because what you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be doing heel work where you're telling the dog to heel and you're always down here, because that's an absolute nightmare. What you ideally want to do is be able to do the heel work and just walk around with the dog. It's really fab. So the more they get focused on where your hand is, the more they're going to connect to that hand.
Woo! Yeah, well done! Yoo!
We'll pop them into the sit and then into the down. So from a training perspective, he's coming on really lovely, and that's exactly what we want to see. And I think as his confidence grows, and this is what I was saying about, it's really nice to run through just the generic training, because actually that's confidence building. So as his confidence builds, we're going to see a real difference in his behaviour anyway, because he's going to feel more comfortable about being left on his own. So one of the other things I just want to do is make sure that his leave, yeah, well done, is working really well. Leave, leave it, take one, and then food out the other hand. So one to practice, as I always say, when the food goes on the floor, it does make it a lot more interesting, so obviously he's going to want to go for it. So just make sure that you do enough training there on that aspect, because it could be a lifesaver later on. We also want him to focus on us, because we want to make sure he doesn't get scared about things outside. So that look command, food to the eyes, look, 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 oh yes, well done. And it's really important that you proof that. So putting the arm out stretched is just to make sure that you understand that the verbal acoustic of look means actually eye contact, rather than just following the hands, and that's why we do it. So he's done really well today. Carry on with the training, because that's going to help massively with the confidence levels. And as I said, confidence levels means that he's going to feel more comfortable about being left on his own. Give it a go at home.